Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. Both of her strikes, as she stabs down into you, hit. The first one deals to you 9 points of damage. How much HP do you have
7.
left?
No, like I had 7 HP.
Oh, then you're unconscious again.
Okay.
And you're at dying 3 because she attacked you twice. And as Alec moves in, he gets to make a will save.
No.
And fails.
Oh,
You hear dunk, 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 clang, 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 clang. What kind of potion is this one?
It's a minor
It's the-
healing.
It's
no,
moderate.
it's moderate.
Moderate.
That we got gifted to us by Paizo itself.
Thank
So-
you, Paizo.
Thank you, Paizo.
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and today let's talk about the dark desire of every GM to wholesale butcher a player character for the enjoyment of the entire table, and why we should fight that sinister urge. You see, death and dying in tabletop games is very important. Consequences like death help add stakes and weight to the actions taken by players. So if characters begin acting like they have this thing called plot armor, which is acting as though the world conspires to keep them healthy and wealthy, well, narrative stakes and meaning go right out the window. And even worse, some players, when they realize they have plot armor, they'll go out of their way to push the edges of what the GM might do to kill or not kill them. And now, the edges of reasonableness are often filled with the zany fun that people remember around the table, especially if you operate by the rule of cool. But too much ridiculous behavior can spoil a good session. And coddled players often feel as though their characters might just be invincible. Now, one thing that those players and sometimes GMs forget is that at every level, characters are actually fragile and killable. And I mean fragile. Sure, your numbers may be high, and you could have several sheets of cool loot and abilities, but players by definition are limited. There are only so many spells that can be cast per day, and only so many things done within a 10-minute cycle. HP only goes so high, and there's always a 5% chance that someone's going to crit, thus meaning mobs and onslaughts of enemies can always bring a party down. It's just a question of how many. And if a GM really wants a party dead, they only need to take whatever material that they have prepared for that week and just make a few tweaks, like how an encounter happens, or when, or maybe how many of them happen. A party will break. Some or all of them will die. Escape could become impossible, and the game ends. Then everyone at the table feels dejected, as though life fully conspired against them because, well, it did. You see, when GMs want to kill you, they don't have to be obvious, but full party kills, they're just not enjoyable. The lesson is that if the game devolves into a GM versus player, only the willingness of the GM to hold back even makes it a contest or even remotely relevant. And many players end up hating the outcome in the end anyway. Our stance on the podcast is that if the dice kill you, you die. If the party can bring you back, awesome. Now, we use buttons, also known as inspiration points, to help mitigate terribly unlucky rolls, and they give players a chance to salvage from the bad consequence of luck. What if I, as a GM, want to kill you, Well, in our last episode, Steno was one wound away from having to turn in all of her buttons for the protection of Medvic to keep her character from dying. As the GM, I had the perfect opportunity to force her character into death. Yotolsha had 3 actions. 2 of them put Stano at wounded 2. With those 2 actions, I could have killed her. So why didn't I? I base those kinds of choices most often on the nature of the threat. Instead of a hobgoblin, let's say the threat was a wild beast. Well, that beast would have generally absconded with the body, taken it to a safe place, and then begun to feed. Then Stana would have turned in her buttons to prevent herself from dying, but then the beast would keep chewing, and Medvic would, after having claimed his buttons, would just do that sinister laugh. Whereas if you happen to be facing, let's say, a duelist or a villain, they don't necessarily want to make sure to coup de grace a party, to make sure that they reach that dying 4 state. A villain might knock the whole party out and then lock them up for their nefarious purposes. You see, when dealing with humanoids and other sapient species, motivation plays the biggest part in how far that character is going to go against a down foe. Now, how monsters and NPCs treat unconscious players is a really valuable tool in reflecting the nature of a player back to them. For instance, has your player always been fair and honorable to antagonists? Well, when the showdown happens and the dice turn against them, maybe that's the moment that your campaign shows the antagonist with mercy. Or, the converse of that, has your rogue been shanking every guard in town and then finally been cornered and knocked unconscious? Well, suddenly that dead or alive bounty doesn't matter as much anymore. Now, you might be thinking, well, a good aligned town isn't just going to outright kill him, right? You know, justice and honor and all that jazz. Well, you know what? Accidents happen to prisoners in custody sometimes, and, well, these things happen and they're always a tragedy. Now, in Stano's case, she benefited from circumstance. The party showed up in the round just as she fell, and thus Demiri was outnumbered and had to make a choice. Now, we may never know if that hobgoblin mercenary would have made sure to permanently put down Stano, or if she might have taken a more business-like approach. Our party flirts with death sometimes more than they know. Now, if you want to flirt with us, you could always leave us a saucy comment on our podcast app of choice, because, you know, ratings and comments really do help the show, and with so many folks having basically destroyed their watch queues on the other streaming services, it might just be your recommendation that opens up the world of Galarion to someone new. Now, when we last left off, I had just cleverly tricked the party into chaining multiple encounters together, and while I was grinning ear to ear, they called for a retreat. Let's see how that works out for them. Where do you want to retreat
Let's
to?
get back to town.
How far do you want to retreat?
Can I get?
Are we able to put out the fire?
Let's
There's not a
get
source of water that y'all
out of
been
it.
able to see around here yet.
Can I get Dago to bring me my other weapons? Or at
Oh,
least
Dago
push-
at least
or at
can
least
grab
push
like your
them
bow or
off.
something.
because I
yeah.
think
Stano's gonna dismiss the Onyx dog.
Caslin
Okay.
may still technically have bleed conditions.
Well, since Mage Hand's a cantrip, I imagine.
Yes, but Dago will take some burns doing that properly for you.
Oh, never mind.
It's not that much.
It's rude.
It's not that much.
It's
He loves you. Let him get your weapons for you.
fine.
No.
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 No, Chris is
No.
doing that thing.
Oh,
I
that
will
thing.
Mage Hand the halberd and the freaking bow down for him using Wimble.
Let me see what.
Okay.
Mage
Stano
Hand
looks
is.
like she's about to go over to the tree and start trying to put out the fire.
I'll use
No,
Mage
let's
Hand
just
as well.
ride.
I can use Mage Hand as well.
So we just Mage Hand your weapons down, so you've got your weapons back. Let's just get the fuck out of here. Go back
Stano's
to
very
town.
worried about the tree.
It's fine. It's one tree out of the whole forest. Stano, we're dying. It's a tree. If I could take back the fire, I would, but at the same time, no, I wouldn't. Because we won. At least a little. We're all alive. Let's go home.
That whole platform is caught on fire. It is now a conflagration.
And it looks like it's gonna spread to the other trees, doesn't it?
It's a high possibility because they're in
There's
the
a good
area.
chance.
They'll just put it out. It's okay.
Taffy's not even gonna wait anymore. She's just gonna hop on Braxton and start riding back to town. She is in no shape to do anything else. Like, literally, I am tapped. All I have are cantrips, and none of them will help with the fire.
Yeah.
Or getting anybody back up
There's
except for stabilize.
nothing Stano can do to stop this, though.
Correct.
Not without an active and continuous source of water.
Then she's going to basically toss Alec in front, get up on his horse, and start heading.
So y'all begin riding back along the path. And do y'all want to take any time to sit down and medic along the way? Because y'all probably have
It's
a
only
solid.
an hour, right?
The thing is that we have bleed conditions still.
No, we don't.
I
we?
do.
Oh.
And I think...
So-
does Caslin?
Didn't somebody heal me? I thought somebody helped. No.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. Still have bleed.
Yeah,
So
so,
y'all
like...
So yes.
Right
we're-
off, get into a culvert and then begin healing.
They
Okay.
do.
Let me...
Neither Stano nor Alec have bleed.
No, Alex bleeding.
Okay,
Someone else gave
So I
Alec the
need-
bleed.
I stabilize
Myself-
Alec.
do you have medicine?
No, all I have is stabilize. My
Okay.
heal is down.
Okay. Give me half an hour and I can do all three of us.
Then Stano is going to get off the horse, get Alec down, and set him down. I'm assuming
Natural-
he's unparalyzed at this point.
I'm doing
After-
myself first,
Yes.
but I've got natural 20, so 28. And those are...
So natural 20 is going to give you 4d4.
48.
Or 48, excuse me.
So Stano's gonna get basically. So she's gonna get Alec off. She's gonna get Alec off the horse. She's gonna get back on the horse and start heading back to town.
Eight.
She's basically heading for the guards at the edge of town.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
To let them know
22.
there's a fire.
Yes.
22 and obviously no more bleed.
We don't have half an hour for her.
The plan is for Stano to head towards the guards
Yes.
and then during that time Deimos is going to be medicing everyone.
Yes.
Okay. And 17 plus 8, that's 25 for Caslin.
Okay.
Does it...
So let's get all
Does
of the
that critical it, or...
25 crits.
Okay. 10, 12, 17. And obviously you're no longer a bleed. And then Alec, who gets 26. Damn, I'm doing good.
Real quick.
12,
Let's just say
14, 15. 15 for Alec.
let's say Steno
Okay.
tells the guards that there's a fire. People go to help put the fire out, and Vaz kills the people.
Yeah, I'm already ahead of that.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
So-
just waiting on Sano at the moment?
I don't know what y'all are
Taffy's
doing. She
not.
didn't
Because
communicate.
it's
Here's
a
the
good
thing.
long time.
Stano didn't communicate with y'all. She basically unloaded Alec and then got back on the horse and left.
Okay.
All right. So
then
let's
can-
take care of. So at this entire time, Demos is medicing. So Alec and Caslin are receiving.
I'm assuming
Medical
Alec's not
services.
paralyzed anymore.
He is unparalyzed, but he is not particularly happy. What is Taffy going to be doing?
I could do battle medic on her if there's enough time.
Not
Not
battle
battle
medic,
medic,
just
just medicine.
regular.
I don't know how long it is till town, so.
Right.
The thing is, it's an hour from town. Because I remember you saying it took
Yep.
us an hour to get where we're at.
Okay.
So
That's
rather than sitting around in a ditch, tapped out completely, unsure of what's going to happen or if Voss is going to send any more things after them. Chaotic good sucks, y'all.
What's Taffy thinking of doing?
Fuck, she's not going to leave her friends. As much as it pisses her off, she's not going to leave her friends in a ditch, not knowing what's going to happen. So she's going to stay there and she's going to keep guard while you guys are recovering.
okay.
Okay.
Do you want?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she'll take a heal, but...
Don't forget, y'all also have the Wand of Heal.
Oh, fuck. In that case, I'm just going to cast Wand of Heal on myself. Because
So-
I'm the only... well, can you use
It-
Primal?
No.
The
only
thing
Taffy can use
is,
the wand.
we're sitting here waiting anyway. Save that for something very important because I have the time. I can just do a medicine check on you.
And so while y'all are healing up, Stano
16,
is galloping full speed.
Yes.
24.
Give me a ride check to not screw over the horse.
I think that's normal, non.
So handle animal.
24
Yeah.
is not a critical, right?
24 is not a critical.
But that's still 9.
Oh, that's a nature. Sorry, not handle
It's
animal.
nature.
That is a 25.
Excellent. So you prevent the horse from going to exhaustion, and you are galloping up to the guards. They can tell that you are harried, and they look at you with mild concern.
There's a fire. The forest is catching fire. Which means we'll head to town. Are they just fucking staring at her?
They are just looking at you.
My fucking god. Where the fuck am I? My Gorham's goddamn fucking thumb. Are you dull?
The forest catches fire often. It's a natural part of the forest clearing.
It was set by Vaz. She has undead in a cave.
Oh
She
my.
has raised them after murdering people from Vuskers.
I see.
And she has set fire to a tree.
This
And it's
guard
going
is
to
not
spread
whole.
towards town. If you don't fucking believe me, at least say it and I'll go talk to Greta.
It's not that we do not believe you, dear adventurer. It's that our jurisdiction extends as far as these walls and these walls only.
So you're cowards then, of course.
We have a duty.
Your duty is to protect your town, yes? So when the fire comes to your town, what will you say to them?
Luckily, we have a river.
Wait, is there a river between the woods and the town?
No, there's a river in the center of town.
What a dumbass! That means at least half the town's gonna fucking burn down.
She's going to give them her haughtiest, snootiest, noble look, like down her nose. The coldest look. You know, may Asmodeus have mercy on your souls, for I know that I will not.
One looks over to him. Asmodeus doesn't have mercy, does he?
Not at all.
Oh. It's a good thing she's not a cleric. She's not a cleric, is she? She is finely dressed. She could be a cleric. I've
You
never
keep
seen-
saying cleric.
She could be a champion.
Of course. And she's going to reach for her war flail.
Are you about to attack a guard?
Do it.
Get out of my way.
We're not in your way.
She's going to rear the horse in their faces, basically.
What's the chances that they accidentally get hit?
Well,
Is it a riding check?
it could be a handle animal check. Let's make it a handle animal check. Kazlin seems to want to make sure that this is a failed handle animal check. So
What
roll
if
that
it's a
nature.
successful handle animal check?
Are
Well,
you
these
trying
rollers.
to club their faces in?
No, I think she's trying to intimidate them.
Yeah, actually, yeah, she's trying to intimidate them.
All right, so that'll be. We'll go with intimidation. Medivh claims another button. Let us see what level of success this has.
That's a critical success. It's a 28.
So they appear to be quite intimidated by your display, especially when they raise up their hands over their heads to prevent the horse's hooves from
So
trampling down on
and
them.
she's just going to turn back and head back to her party.
So one
wait,
of the aspects of the
legitimately, their jurisdiction only extends to town proper.
that is correct.
What a bunch of horse shit.
Sorry, Chris, what were you saying?
I just wondered when that was going to come into play. I just didn't know it was going to be a giant fire.
What?
It's fine.
I like
I
this.
suppose it's not a giant fire. It's just a small 4-tree bonfire. 5-tree bonfire. No, wait, we have to roll for that one. 5-tree bonfire.
Now it's a 5-tree.
Hey, on the bright side, it looks like it is only consuming those 4 trees right now. And since there's going to be mostly dirt underneath the part of the platform where that tree,
It'll suppress the
that-
fire.
it won't be overly terrible, but it's definitely, y'all see this pillar of smoke as rising up, marking out the location to the entrance of the cave. And y'all see Steno back in.
She better never see
about an
those
hour.
fucking guards around town.
Well, we're gonna have to see them because we're going back to town.
Then
Taffy's-
they better pay. They better give some fucking good deference because she is.
This whole time, Taffy's like pacing, waiting for Stano to come back or
So
us to get ready to go.
This means that Demos has a solid hour of medicine that can be done. So what is the Demos's medicine capacity at this point?
He can just kind of keep going. He can only do it once per hour for everyone, but
So you'll get one more round for everyone who's there.
It's actually going to be 2 hours, won't it? Because Stano rides all the way there and back.
yeah, but we
What's
Right.
the actual distance of this?
It is quite a few miles. So you're
Okay.
looking at
I
anywhere
think-
from 7 to 8 miles.
Okay, because
yeah,
I
I
was
think
like,
I
she's
can pack
galloping.
3 of those in there in total if I started right away.
So for the record, guys, I was gonna have Stano attack the guard, but I remembered that part of her alignment is lawful, and that would be against the law.
It very much would have been.
But it's not against the law to threaten a guard.
Also true,
16,
That's what-
depending on your city.
I really wanted that intimidation check to fail.
24.
Because then maybe a failure would have been an actual, like, hitting them with the horse hooves.
So
That
I
would have
got
been
an
interesting. I would've
additional
liked to see
7.
Accidental assault.
Okay. I gave myself
That might be something she needs some of Daddy's money to put away.
Ooh.
Is that her estate?
She has an estate, in part of the Archduchy controlled by her family.
Give me the button, Demos.
Basically, when she turned 18,
Did you
her
roll a
parents went,
natural
here's
one
your
on your
birthday
healing?
gift.
God damn it, Alex.
Was that no? Did I accidentally just reveal that and not mean to?
What?
Was that in fact no?
12, 13,
I
14.
mean, like,
It was only 14 for Alex.
everybody
so-
already knows that she's the
On
child
the
of an
check-
archduke and
on the
archduchess.
second
So,
check,
like,
yeah.
Oh, then that means that you failed that check and you did not gain any healing.
Who, me?
Alex.
No, Alec.
Oh.
Now we're doing Caslin. 19 for Caslin, so
2d8.
5 more. And for Taffy, Taffy's going to get something good. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
48 for Taffy.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 for Taffy.
Taffy at full?
Nice.
Literally 1 point away from full.
Did you say you were
Excellent.
gonna try to get 3 in?
And so now, at about the time that Taffy is finished getting looked over, that is when Stano comes galloping up. Give me another handle animal on that horse.
Oh, yeah.
Nature.
I said I could probably do 3, but I don't think Chris is going to let me.
That's a 19.
So she's back up. Alex's horse looks bedraggled, but still alive. You find yourselves to the side of the path, not quite in a ditch, but making a very short sort of camp along the way.
The damned
And
god
Stano
won't
looks
come out here.
irate.
I'm sure the tree will be fine. Well, not the tree that was on fire, but the forest will be fine. It'll be fine.
Will it? Once it
It's
spreads
not like
towards
Vaz
the
is
town.
going to let her entire
I don't
area
give
go
a
off.
fuck about Vaz or her fucking
No,
skeletons.
no. My point is that she's probably going to try to put it out.
No, she won't.
She's staying there. She doesn't want to be on fire.
She's in a cave anyway. Honestly, she might let it burn just to see the world burn because she's a bitch.
Either way, it'll
We
put
killed all our
itself
henchmen.
out.
So that's kind of good, except for the skeleton ones. Guys, I don't think I want to be a necromancer.
No?
No, honestly, this is getting really shitty and gross.
Okay, solid.
Also, I'm really tired, and I don't have any other spells left. If we want to get this bitch, we need to rest. We are
Yeah.
all in so bad of shape. We were not ready for that.
Let's head back to town.
That is the place I have my other sword.
Where did you get this sword?
Oh, shit.
It was my father's. I need to retrieve it.
I'm sorry, Alec.
There's just...
We'll
I-
kill her good next time.
There is a score of honor to be settled, I agree.
But we cannot do it on half health.
But I couldn't leave you there.
Oh, thank you, Taffy.
I apologize for carrying you out like that.
Was
It
he
would've been
fully well
comforting
aware
if
of
it-
what was going on?
Yes.
He was completely aware the whole fucking time.
He's like, oh no.
Whatever needs to be done
The
has to be
strong
done.
woman just came and picked me up and carried me out.
It is one of your very attractive features.
Yeah, it is.
Mine's my personality.
Thank you, Taffy.
It's very
That
cute,
is also
Taff.
quite true, Lady Taffy.
Santa doesn't really blush, but her ears are gonna go red. So.
What about me? Say something about me.
You're lovely, Brad.
Caslin, your deafness at being able to take full direction and super yourself up to the top of a tree is absolutely amazing. We actually make quite a good pair. I do wish we could make a lot more combination moves more often.
Alex is saucy.
I don't think that
If
was
you
intended to
joined
be
the
saucy.
order, we could fight
Oh,
back to
God.
back more often.
Do you truly
out
think
front to
Caslin's
back.
going?
Shut up, Brad. Thanos look is priceless.
Somewhere she just fucking conjured popcorn.
Sato's concerned. Do you genuinely think Caslin would join the order?
I think that there would be growing pains between the two, but an asset is an asset.
Hey, fuck you guys. Shut up. I'm not gonna join that stupid thing.
And it's
That
a
dumb
shame to
old
lose such an asset.
Thing. Ugh.
You see that McDonald thing?
That dumb old thing. Not Mc- what's a McDonald's?
Methinks
That sounds
Lady
delicious,
does
but what the fuck is
protest
it?
too much. And nobody heard that.
I just
Except for
think
Stano.
that Caslin could defeat the devil single-handedly if he so desired. Especially if moderately equipped.
He could.
'Tis fine. Well, 'tis not fine. It seems as though my haste has brought us into a desperate situation. But we've all survived.
Man, I felt so cool when we were flying, though. I want to fly again.
You can fly again later, Taffy.
You did seem to use quite a bit of magic in that escapade, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna plan that better next time. It was really cool, though.
Well,
I fear I shall never get my mail.
your mail. I thought you said
Well-
man.
Oh,
As it happens, apparently Voz is also guilty of mail fraud.
That is the final straw.
Stano rides back off towards
Not the necromancy, it's the mail fraud.
necromancy's not against the law, but mail fraud is.
Lawful evil aligns very well with the USPS.
Honestly.
Come on, Chris, laugh. You know you want to laugh. Is there no law she won't break?
Apparently not. She is a pretty rotten bitch. I really don't like her.
I thought that was genuinely an honorable combatant and fighter.
Oh, but
And
she
instead
hit you
she
while
was a-
you were down.
I thought she was an honorable combatant prior.
yeah,
to her
she
striking
doesn't have
me
any
while
eyes
down.
anymore.
If it's who I thought I saw, that must have been Demiri Yoltolsha, the leader of the Bloody Blades. There is a bounty on their heads.
Woo.
Oh, well, she's dead now. Whoops.
If any of the bodies survive the fire, they can be turned in for coin.
Taffy.
I mean,
You'd have to go back down that cave to
From my
fetch.
understanding, there is a fair bounty on their heads.
I mean, some of them will probably survive the fire.
We could go back and get the orc bodies.
Yeah, let's. Wait, no.
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 Unfortunately, if we had delivered her alive, I think the bounty on your Tolsha's head was 50 gold pieces.
Oh, is that it?
She is the leader of a moderate mercenary band of bandits.
But
Went back and got the half orcs. Does that mean we'd only have to carry
If you left
half
any
of
of the head intact,
I mean,
You,
some
you
of
just
it's intact,
cut off
I'm
the
sure.
head.
Oh.
I only blew out the eyes as
we
far
did
as I
just
know.
leave a relatively powerful body in the
Oh,
domain of a
fuck,
necromancer.
you're correct.
That might be a problem.
It's
Yeah, I
fine.
killed her once, we can kill her again.
It's fine. It's fine.
What is the plan now?
We need to recover.
So does my poor horse.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I think we're walking.
Yes.
Speak
Zeta's
for
gonna
yourself, bitches!
Is that exactly how Taffy says it?
She rides off into the sunset.
Technically, Deimos and Kazlin still both have horses.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, you guys could double up and just lead his horse back.
His horse is dead.
No, his horse isn't dead.
No, Stano's horse is
Oh,
dead.
His horse is
yeah.
dead.
What happened to Alex's horse?
It's
Nothing.
just really
Stano's
worn out.
just galloped it like 14
So
miles.
we just
Oh,
ride
yeah.
back
Yeah,
like
yeah.
normal.
So if Alex's horse is pressed any further, there's a very good chance it just keels over.
Yeah.
So if we
So,
ride back
so
at
if
a
Oh,
we
normal-
just
Stano's gonna get off the horse,
calmly
by the
ride
way.
back.
No, you can't calmly ride that back. You have to walk.
No,
the
you
horse.
you would have to walk it back or have it.
I don't mean on top of the
Oh,
horse. I
yeah.
mean like we double up and then lead the horse along with us.
I mean, y'all are gonna assume Stano's gonna get on the back of somebody's horse.
You can drive mine.
Drive.
You can-
drive miles.
So Demos, do you enjoy being driven?
Sometimes.
I never
Anyway,
imagined you as one to sit in a cart all the time. I always imagined you one walking the
you
trail with
missed it.
yourself.
You missed it. That's okay. You're cute.
What
Anyway.
he's saying is sometimes he's receptive.
Oh, we call that pegging.
Oh my god!
Is
Alex,
it
Stano's going to
pegging
look
if it's with
genuinely
another man?
confused.
Well, knights do get lonely in the order.
She doesn't know what that is.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Just
she's
get-
very naive.
get on the
with that
horses.
version. She plays hard, but
Even I
Some-
know what that is, and I spent half of my life in another
Stano
world.
is 21 and has lived with her parents her entire life.
Oh,
Private tutor.
Oh, fair enough. She did live amongst Fae, and she's seen it all. And then
Lady
some.
Stano, that is when one happens to take a little bit of a lubricant.
Okay.
no.
Alec,
No.
teach
She's
her
gonna
later.
start walking the horse. She can't handle this.
Oh,
Teach her later, Alec.
There are children listening to this.
Oh no! Oh no, honey, Titi, don't listen.
look, this has an E for a reason, okay?
Oh,
She was warned.
she was.
She was warned that there is some content.
Meanwhile, Taffy and Wimble are just like, Brambles, like-
So Stano has no idea how to handle this situation, so she's just gonna start paying attention. She's gonna start like just brushing like things off her armor and like not looking at anyone.
Okay, Deimos is trying to yank her onto a horse. It's like, just get on up here with me. You can have front or back. I really don't care. Just get on the horse so we can go in.
by the time they get mounted up and head home, Taffy's already back at town.
And so
Stano
Alec
will
takes
get-
the reins of his horse and he begins walking. I really think I should have packed a second sword.
You two ride in. I will walk with Alec.
But what? Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
You're already gone. What do you care?
Get back to the
Deimos
inn.
doesn't want to leave him alone though, so he'll
I
just
take
So
a
she's
bath.
walking off.
he'll just calmly ride behind her.
And Wimble keeps poking me to make sure I don't fall asleep in the tub, so I don't drown. And then I go upstairs, and I close my door.
You get to your PJs. You open
And
up
that's
your
when-
romance novels. You pour yourself a glass of wine. You open your box of bonbons. Put on your fluffy bunny sticker.
Oh no.
Sorry, your fluffy bunny.
Turn on your little
slippers.
Scentsy.
That's when
You light
she
your scented
notices
candles.
in the mirror.
So, as
A shock.
Taffy's finally trying to decompress from the day, knowing that she's gotten in some solid destruction, knowing that she's helped save her friends, but it's a little bittersweet as she knows that the tips of each of her fingers have gone entirely white. Kazlin and Deimos are keeping pace with the walk of the two heavily armored compatriots. It takes them significantly more time to be able to get back, and
I assumed that Caslin or Deimos would have gotten impatient, like ridden off, but apparently.
We're not
Well-
leaving y'all alone.
what does Kazlin want to do?
He's just walking or riding alongside.
You'll make it back, and the poor stable hand realizes that y'all are missing a horse.
The other horse has been killed.
I would like to have already paid for it.
So he confirms that the horse is missing,
Yes.
and he informs you that Mistress Taffy has taken care of the expense, and when last he heard, she was just returning from her bath.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where I will go.
That sounds good.
I think it's only one gender at a time.
That's... Yes, you can take turns.
Okay.
You're really out of it, aren't you, Alec?
I've lost my fucking sword. Handed down in my family. It is now in the hands of a necromancer, Demos.
We'll get it back.
Thankfully, I have a spare. Do you know what it would be like if that stupid fucking skeleton that wasn't wielding the shield comes wielding that thing in our face? It hits really hard.
Yeah.
And I walked into a trap like a fucking ponce. Not feeling great at the moment, sir.
Like a first day amateur.
You need a bath too, clearly.
And Caslin.
Or maybe a drink.
You know, that sounds like a great fucking idea. In fact, I know some very saucy widows who could take care of these sorrows. You want to head over to the Pickled Deer with me, Caslin?
Ah.
Sure, let's go. I could always use a pickle deer.
I don't
Where
think
the
that's the point
fuck
of
are
the pickle.
Pibbins off? They've got to be around here somewhere. They're always delightful.
They are in a mood. Specifically,
Stanos moved off to the back.
Alec is.
Taffy doesn't come down for the rest of the night. And Wimble locks the door, like, magically somehow. Even if he has to mage hand a fucking chair up under the knob, there's no one getting in.
Could he not just cast lock?
He doesn't have a lock.
Hmm.
She doesn't have it prepared.
Unfortunate.
So when Caslin and Alec make it over to the Pickled Deer, you find Pib and Zarf dancing and singing for everyone's entertainment at the Pickled Deer.
Oh.
And they are keeping up a heck of a tune back and forth, apparently with this play of like low beats and this thump going on as one hits down the staff. And then it's just the weirdest rhythm sight you've ever seen, but everyone in the tavern is into it.
just imagining like this percussion performance like the Japanese, like the big old drums and stuff, but they just making do with whatever they've got available to them.
And
Maybe
now,
less
he looks, it's just
skillfully,
like, you know, this is what I saw last time when I picked them up. They started doing this thing they called deep boxing. I'm not quite sure exactly.
No. No.
It was the weirdest sound I've ever heard.
The type of fighting? Boxing?
No, they make these weird utterances.
Oh god. It's canon now. Oh.
Yes. And if I had any talent in doing it myself, I would. But I don't. But yes, Pib and Zarf. Probably Pib is the beatboxer, because I don't think that's really a Zarf thing. He keeps the beat with his staff.
What if he's the one? What if he's rapping?
Oh, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
sick
You know what?
lines.
Zarf spits the rhyme, and Pib keeps the beat. That's how it works. They're now the Kobold beatboxing champions of the world.
Because
And
they're
they are
the
now
only
inspired
fucking
because
ones.
their favorite honorary dragon is in
the house.
the house.
And now we have Kobold.
And while y'all are now going to be uproariously drunk as far as you want to go at this point, what shall Steno and Demos be up to?
Stano's going to take her bath. She's going to get changed into her regular casual clothing. And she's going to kind of go to the only place in this town where she's like where it's like reminded her of home. She's going to head out towards Crimsonwood.
Crimsonwood and First?
Yes. She just wants to look at the Hell Knight stuff again.
So yeah, you enter in, the bell rings, and you see a couple of the apprentices there, and then one of them kind of nods and the other one goes down. Lady Demal,
Yes.
what can we do for you today?
I had wondered, I brought in some of the signs from the Order of the Nail, and I'd wondered if those had been touched up.
I've had a couple of my apprentices learning their patterns.
Of course.
Is there something that you would like done with them, my lady?
No, I just wanted to know if they were being worked on. I'm a little homesick, so.
Unfortunately, I know very little myself of, I believe you said it was Agorian.
Yes.
Treasure trove of a city, fashion, culture. One of these days I do hope to be able to make a visit to it, to see what forms and factors I can bring back to my provincial practice.
It's too provincial for you here. You know that, of course.
I hold some hope that someone will come and reclaim that hill that was once owned by the Hell Knights, and that if it's brought to its former glory, we'll be able to make our own outpost here. When I first settled here, I believed that Druma was the key to wealth and resource, that it would be something that Iska could profit from, and this was a perfect location between the two nations. But I may have had this thought too early. Or maybe we'll have someone take full possession of that keep and prove me right. Until then, I can just practice my skills.
It could be a wonderful outpost.
Under the right hands, this small town could turn into its own form of Agorian, under its own set of tutelage. It may take a few generations, but if we plant the trees that we'll never be able to sit in the shade of, it could grow beyond measure.
Stana has several thoughts going in her head.
And especially if it's governed by elves, they live for a very long time.
Of course,
Though
but they'll also...
They are a bit poncy.
To be fair, how many smarmy elves do you know versus smarmy nobles?
There was this one time I had an interaction with a smarmy noble elf.
Oh no. That just compounds it.
When the thing with nobility is that you understand the rationale, the core, what must be protected and preserved.
Do we? Because my older brother is incredibly smarmy. And I have no idea where it comes from.
Has he had a need to protect something?
He's a knight. What do you expect?
Oh, my Lady Dumal, may I let you in on some of the male condition right for a moment? Share a perspective from the lower classes.
Of course.
We're often taught that the need to protect, to use one's strength, may be above all the greatest sacrifice to show for his love. And sometimes, if you happen to be a lowly woodcutter, that's taking your hand and roughing it up with calluses and showing your strength in besting a tree. If you happen to be maybe an elegant bard, it's coming up with the perfect lyric to be able to feed your family, if you stay with your family. And sometimes, from when I've dealt with my noble clientele, I've watched them treat their sons and bring up that any weakness whatsoever forces into them a chance for the whole family to shatter. It's a great deal of weight to put on young minds. And sometimes you react. Sometimes smarmy is just a defense mechanism. Sometimes they're an asshole. But I'd like to think that one that may carry Dumal in their last name is trying to do their very best to protect that which they own, that which they are responsible for, and will do anything that is necessary. At least that's this humble tailor's opinion.
Thank you.
Though you should really see about doing something about your half-elven companion.
What about him?
His hands are way too delicate.
They're very soft. They're very, very... I don't know if the word has gotten around about what he wore the other night to the pickled ear.
I've received a pattern request for... I think they were called... booty shorts.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that this was masculine attire.
I don't think it is. It's
His
something
hands
I
are
can see my
very
younger
delicate.
sister wearing.
I don't know
That's
if you would
not
want
a
your sister to
compliment.
wear them.
It's not a compliment.
We don't have one of those districts in town. But if it continues to be... Well, if I fulfill these commissions as is my duty, I worried that the Picklear may become the center of one of those districts in town. And Roxy is far too good of a friend for me to say no to, but I worry about how far she pushes the graces of Desna.
Tell me about the Passandis.
Oh, Passandi.
She mentioned that they have a hold over her.
Passandi fancies himself, they use this term in my hometown, entrepreneur. He likes to think that he can be the town's moneylender.
But is not a follower of Abadar.
No. It's hard to pin down exactly which faith he follows. We do know that he makes shrewd business decisions at very curious times. It's almost they were divinely inspired, but we never see him at the Temple of Desna, nor does he pay more than minimal homage at the Guild of Shaylin. It's very strange, and it can't be denied. And so he makes his plays. He's on the council for a reason. And his company does quality stonemasonry. But he's always of a keen eye. And you know that when he begins to twirl that upper mustache of his, that he's got some sort of scheme in mind.
It sounds like most Asmodeans I know.
I must admit, in our little provincial spot, the worship of Asmodeus is not well looked upon. We much prefer to seek the stars and seek fine and beautiful trade crafts. Which is another one of the reasons I stay. The support of the local Shaylinese is beneficial. They keep raising the stakes of quality, which helps keeps my goods and my eyes sharp. But that's not the reason you're here, is it, Lady Stano?
I'm homesick. I wanted to be in the one place that made me remember and feel like I was back in Cheliax.
I have one thing. I think the cut is about right. Let me show it to you. Here, come behind the counter. So he lifts the counter part up and he beckons you in. He guides you back to an area of the shop, and you see that he's working on a piece. One happens to be pint-sized, very much in the style of
Pastels and pinks and taffy.
yes, very pastel, very pink, very much of the combination of the land and the sea. Very nature inspired on that one. But the other one is a crimson and black. A combination of hard angles and almost scale-like. I've been plagued by these sequences of dreams. At first I thought them pure nightmare. But then it kept dwelling with me. The thought of fire and scales. And then it turned into its own sort of inspiration. And thus I have this. And you see before you a full courtly ensemble. Reminiscent of red dragon scale. Flecked with hints of ivory and gold. Some of the finest materials you've seen, and it is a dress that even a queen would be willing to add, if not seeking to add to their collection.
It's amazing.
I hope to have this at someone's coronation one day. We'll see. It's still a work in progress.
Sid, why are you giving me that look?
I don't know. What look are you talking about?
Maybe this will remind you of home.
It does.
When I finish it, maybe I can have you model it for us. And we can have someone properly sketch what needs to be done. Would you be willing to?
She's going to basically reach over and like squeeze his hand. She's like, of course.
Thank you, Lady Jamal.
I must let you get back to your work though, so thank you.
Thank you, my lady.
And she's gonna head back to the Wizard's Grace.
So, Demos, what are you doing?
Damo's just... He's going to be boring and have just taken a bath, gotten all clean, put sleep clothing on, and is just kind of sitting in the room and fiddling with his instrument at the moment.
His booty shorts.
No, the booty shorts are sleepwear. What?
And on this haggard and rough evening, we will come to a close into the next day. I told you, love, the damage is extensive. That gnomish top must have been aiming for your head with her spell. Yes, Demiri, I retrieved the chest and the potions. If you have another one now, you are likely to need a cleric to re-break your jaw and skull to set them bones. Even with my age, you're lucky to be alive. Oh, calm down. We only have so much paper here, and the coal from those trees is too hot for use. Though I reckon they be coming back. Those fools may just attempt another assault. We must be rational and prepared. They still have us outnumbered, and they have a healer. Are you sure, Demiri? They were your comrades, and doing this will leave a stain on your soul the gods will know. Well, then you need to drink that potion after all. You gotta reduce that swelling to be able to speak if this is gonna work. Then when you finish that one potion, come help me set up the ritual. We only have so much time before they return.